At first glance, this appears to be a standard court hearing, the kind that happens every day. But within just a few moments, it turns into something much more unusual. The defendant isn't simply answering the questions being asked. Instead, she pushes back against the identity the court is using for her. She introduces herself using entirely different terms and explains her situation in a way that doesn't match how criminal law normally works. This is the point where things start to become serious. When a person in court speaks in a way that doesn't follow normal legal procedure, or seems unable to communicate in a clear and expected manner, the judge must step in and consider something very important: competency. This has nothing to do with deciding guilt or innocence. It comes down to one straightforward question. Does this person truly understand what is happening around them? And are they able to take part in their own defense in a meaningful way? If the answer is no, then everything comes to a complete stop. The trial cannot continue. There's no verdict, no progress, no resolution. The entire process is paused until this issue is properly examined and resolved. As you'll notice, the court quickly shifts its attention away from the actual charges. The main concern becomes whether the defendant is even capable of participating in the legal process at all. But here's where things take an unexpected turn. What happens when someone strongly claims they understand everything, yet continues to speak in a way that doesn't fit within the legal system? That's exactly the situation unfolding here. And as it continues, it's clear that things are only going to become more intense from this point forward.
Court calls case People versus Jade Lathan. Lathan.
On behalf of the people.
Overwater Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Ms. Lathan. Ma'am, would you state your name for the record, please?
I'm not Ms. Lathan, I'm principal. I am J. Ruth Bay, card holder and principal of Jade Lathan.
Your Honor, I did attempt
Mr. Overwater, while she's given that, is this the person that you know to be the individual named in the complaint? If not, we are going to have a problem, and I will have this person, since she got up here, taken into custody. We will do fingerprints and we will determine her identity by our standards. So we can do it one of two ways.
Judge, I don't question that she is physically the person that is alleged to have committed these offenses. What I do believe is that there is an issue as to competency.
For the record, I do not know this man, and I did send him a cease and desist to not represent me. However, thank you, Your Honor. I am the principal and card holder of Jade, Ruth, and Lathan, and beneficiary.
Very well. Mr. Overwater, you are on this case, so what do you wish?
Judge, I believe that at this point, the issue of competency needs to be raised. So I would ask for a competency evaluation. This matter be set over for a competency hearing.
I'm not
Pursuant
asking
to the
for
statute.
anything, and that's, I mean, from the horse's mouth.
I'll need an order.
I did turn in my statement of fact so that there's more than the police record on the record. I've not harmed anyone, and the cameras will reflect that if we are to go that far. But I would like to motion to settle.
I don't know what that means.
Well, I want to settle because I'm the card holder in X relation to the principal, and I do not want to be
I have
mistaken.
no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, I yield.
Thank you. Forensic evaluation is ordered. I'll order a competency hearing. I'll set that competency hearing for June 6, 2024, 9 a.m.
2020.
At this time, bond will continue. Mr. Overwater, prepare the order, please.
I will do that, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Case People versus Jade Lathan.
Mr. Canatra for the people.
Kenneth Overwater, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Ms. Lathan, who's approaching. Ms. Lathan, would you state your name for the record, please?
J. Ruth Bay, beneficiary of the principal.
Your Honor, I have spoken with Ms. Lathan several times. We've reviewed some of the discovery. We are looking into some potential resolutions. I'd ask to adjourn the probable cause conference. I would ask for more than 2 weeks.
August 29th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued. Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Does call the case, People versus Jade Lathan.
Kenneth Overwater, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Ms. Lathan, who is approaching.
Your name, ma'am?
I'm Jay Ruth Bay, the nationality of Moorish American, beneficiary of the principal Jade Lathan, and I'm making this special appearance at District 15, Michigan Court of Law under threat, duress, and coercion. I'm asking the prosecutor to dismiss this case on the grounds that there is no injured party. Plus, I have the right to a speedy trial, and this is the 5th time I've made an appearance for this in the case in the court of law since February 2024 for the arraignment. Since the arraignment, when the Ann Arbor Police Department apprehended me unlawfully and kidnapped me, forcing me to take fingerprinting and a mugshot when I am not a criminal. Officers Morgan Parker, 15400, and AA Condolis, 02002, claimed I fit a so-called description and also violently attacked me and produced a false police report against my person. These officers falsely accused me of committing crimes that the tapes do not show me doing at all. These tapes do not show me doing at all any of the things that I'm being accused of, as I've never harmed another person in my life and certainly not an officer of the law. I have also not disturbed the peace, and I have on file with public defender Kenneth Overwater right here to my left, a character letter from my former teacher proving that I've always been a well-behaved student, and have always gotten good grades and have no history of foul play or violence, which is still true to this day. My legal representation on the day of the arraignment on February 2024, who helped grant me my freedom on bond, has already stated on the record that I have no history of violent offenses, which is the truth. And I assume why I was granted my freedom from police custody. I would lastly like to say that on March 11, 2024, I was denied 2 main sources of evidence for my case via my personal FOIA request that would have easily shown my innocence. These 2 things are the mobile gas station cameras, and that will show the young boy already on the phone when I walked into the gas station. But either way, I was not at all acting out of the ordinary or belligerent. I was nothing but kind to everyone in that store. And I'm nothing but peaceful, and I'm saddened that I have been accused of behaviors that are not true. And I would like to exclaim that I'm a victim of a false 911 police call when I had no idea I only know that because of the police report that I got after the fact. I humbly ask both the prosecutor and the judge that this case be dismissed because I have school and I have church to attend, and my college studies have already began on August 26th at the community college. And I'm asking you to grant me my justice from this, taking up my time, because my time is very valuable to my community, and I would once again like to motion to settle this case for full dismissal in a speedy manner, because this case has already been in default judgment since the date of March 7, 2024, and I yield.
All right, so that we know that the review of the court's file, I've heard everything that the defendant has said. Court's review of the file, that none of the requests to adjourn were at the request of the people. It was always at the request of the defense in terms of any delay in these proceedings. Secondly, I do not need a response from the people. If I consider that a motion to dismiss, that motion to dismiss is denied. Where do we need to go now, Mr. Overwater?
Just be asking for an adjournment of the probable cause conference.
Any objection from the people?
No, Your Honor, I have offered a misdemeanor offer of 1 count of attempt resisting obstructing the police. I'll leave that offer open to the next CCC.
September 19th, 2024, 9 a.m.
And just like that, after everything we've witnessed, the unusual way of speaking, the identity claims, the competency concerns, and the long emotional explanation, the court brings everything back to a clear and grounded decision. Motion denied. The judge makes 2 key points very clear. First, the delays in this case were not caused by the prosecution. They came from the defense side. Second, nothing the defendant presented meets the legal standard required to dismiss the case. Emotional arguments, personal beliefs, and even claims of innocence are not enough. The court relies on legal rules, not feelings. Looking at the bigger picture, this case shows the gap between how a person sees their situation and how the legal system actually works. Courtrooms are not guided by personal stories alone. They depend on evidence, proper procedure, and established law. Now the case moves forward again. Possible plea deals are still available, and a trial is still ahead. So here's something to think about. Is the defendant truly being misunderstood, or is she making her situation more difficult by not working within the system as it's designed? If this case surprised you as much as it did us, be sure to like the video, share your opinion in the comments, and subscribe for more detailed courtroom breakdowns.